the red carpet of a big-time movie premiere in New York City. The stars, the fans, the media, all here because of one man. It's the night Vince Papale calls the Super Bowl of his life.
You gotta get out and see this movie. This is as good as it gets. Forget about Rocky, it's Invincible, baby.
It's a night his family will never forget either. They arrive in style in a Cadillac Escalade. Daughter Gabby snapping pictures, taking in all the excitement. Proud of your dad?
Yeah.
What's the best part for you, Janet?
What's the best part? Everything. I mean, there's so much going on. You just want to take it all in.
What's the most fun part of this for you guys?
Getting to meet all the stars and experiencing it all.
Are they loving it?
Yeah, you know, all they wanted was to get a picture with Mark. Once they got their picture with Wahlberg, then everything was fine. So, yeah, they forgot all about that. Yeah.
Hollywood heartthrob Mark Wahlberg is the star of Invincible, playing the role of Vince Papale. During the filming of the movie, Wahlberg practically became part of the real-life Papale family.
Oh, they're the best. You know, his whole family. I mean, what can you say? It's like, I feel like you know, I'm welcome in their home anytime. That's a beautiful thing.
I spoke to Papale at Franklin Field, where he watched the Eagles play in the 1960s and where much of Invincible was filmed. Making the team back in 1976 caused a stir in Philadelphia, but his story was later largely forgotten. That was until ESPN did a story about Papale in 2002. Then Hollywood producers came knocking. Vince, you must be just amazed at all this attention, all this excitement about an event that happened in your life 30 years ago. How's it feel?
Well, I'm feeling phenomenal, great, very excited. A lot of excitement just a year ago right here at Franklin Field as I walked into the stadium and I saw the setup for the first time and all these people, Mary, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this movie's about me and the people are here because of me.
And Papale is enjoying every minute of it, traveling around the country, meeting fans, signing his new book, even ringing the opening bell at the Philadelphia Stock Exchange.
Janet says, I've been reinvented. It's like a resurrection of sorts, and 30 years later I get to tell the story again, but the great thing is, Mary, I get to tell it to another generation. And not because the story is about me, it's a really good story about overcoming odds and the underdog finally winning, and I'm really excited to tell it.
It's kind of nice also for you because it gives you a whole new generation of people who are saying, hey, you know, maybe I can do it too.
Yeah, that's a great part of this. When I show the trailer and I go out and I talk and tell them about the movie and what it's about, I said, listen, let's just keep an open mind here. It's not about me, it's about you. Because we've all had our dreams. We've all had things that we had to go through in order to get there. We've all been sometime in our life been called a loser, told we couldn't do something.
This coming Saturday, Philadelphia Eagles will hold open tryouts.
Do you remember what Coach Vermeil said to you when you learned you made the team?
Yeah, here I am, I'm on the field, and just totally lost in myself. And then Coach Vermeil comes up to me, and he looks at me with his great smile. And Dick just, with all sincerity and happiness and joy, he was so excited, he couldn't wait to tell me. And he just reached down and he said, congratulations, old man. He said, you're a Philadelphia Eagle. And I have goosebumps telling you this story because I'm sort of in this setting.
Yeah.
And I started crying. And Dick, that was probably the first time he had tears in his eyes too. And I said, Coach, I said, oh my God, I said, please tell me this isn't a joke.
Coach Vermeil himself remembers the day very well.
Oh yeah, like it was yesterday.
Really?
You know, it's easy to remember those things you do as a coach that you really enjoy doing, telling someone that he made a football team.
I said, if I could, I want to call my dad. Because my dad was at training camp every day because they were on strike at Westinghouse and they just got called back. And I went and I got through to the shop foreman, had to make a collect call. There were no cell phones in '76. And I got a hold of my dad and I got the shop foreman, Slim. I said, yo, Slim, I said, tell Kingy, his little boy Vince, he's a Philadelphia Eagle. And in the background, they just went crazy at Westinghouse, totally ballistic. And my dad looked for my Uncle Russell in Westinghouse and it was like one of these slow motion scenes, you know, in the meadow, right. And they just hugged and they cried and then we partied for 72 hours.
Papale said he was stunned when he read the original version of the script and that his father wasn't in it.
We had a battle for some things, and the original script didn't have my father in it. But we battled hard, and I got my dad in it. How can you not have my dad in this script? He was such an important part of me making the team. And now he's in there. And then when you see those scenes with Mark Wahlberg and Kevin Conway, who plays my father, they're just going to bring you to tears. It's going to melt you, and it's an important part of the movie.
Talked to him for a couple of days before we actually shot. I got there a couple of days before I began, and he was around, of course. And yeah, you know, there's the usual stuff, the desire to prove something to the father and yet not disappoint him. And the same is true of his father, who wanted him to succeed but didn't want him to get hurt. And that's a kind of combination that'll keep you all bound up in a circle.
And throughout, my father was sort of saying in the movie, you know, just don't get your hopes up too high. We don't want you to be disappointed. But he really didn't mean that. And then he finally just says, just because I didn't tell you to get your hopes up didn't mean that I didn't have mine. And that when I saw that for the first time, and I had Mark Wahlberg behind me, we saw it in New York the night before the draft, the both of us started bawling.
It's got to be fun having these major movie stars involved in the story of your life. I mean, that's got to be a little bit of a rush.
Oh, you know, I'm sort of like a little bit of a groupie, you know. So the first time I met Mark Wahlberg up in New York, that was sort of we had the sweaty palm thing going. And he's just the nicest guy.
Give me a hug, buddy.
How are you?
Give me a hug.
And he's become a friend. And, you know, he's been wonderful to my children. If you would have seen him riding around this set here with his Vespa motor scooter. And he painted it green, and he had eagle wings on it. He put number 83 on it. And after the shooting was over, there's a truck that comes to my door, and there's that scooter. He gave it to my kids.
Oh, wow.
You know, I mean, what a nice gesture by that guy.
Papale's 3-year career with the Eagles was 3 years longer than most people had expected. But then again, Vince Papale is always exceeding expectations. He even beat colorectal cancer 5 years ago.
No matter what the challenge, no matter what is brought in front of me that seems to be challenging, I said, you know what? If I could do what I did back then, I can do it now. Because I'm wiser, I'm stronger, I'm more mature, I'm more intelligent than I was then, and I can handle anything.
Is taken near the goal line. What a hit to start things off. Vince Papale putting the Giants back inside their own 15.